will offer free shipping upgrades. Retailers are hoping to boost their bottom line in what's expected to be a sluggish holiday sales season. Stay with us. WAVY News 10 at 6 starts right now.
Live from the station on your side, this is WAVY News 10.
Students locked down at IC Norcom High School in Portsmouth. We're live with team coverage. What happened? What parents and students saw? What's next? And Norfolk police take aim and fire. We're live on your side with more on why a drug investigation turned into a police-involved shooting. But first, another day of rain relief. A lot of green, as you see there on Super Doppler 10 radar. Already several high school football games have been postponed for tonight. More on that in just a minute. Thanks for joining us. We're also continuing to track the latest developments on that school lockdown in Portsmouth. Before we get to our team coverage, let's go right to Chief Meteorologist Don Slater with a check on more rainy weather, Don.
Yeah, and it's affecting everyone's lives. Obviously, travel has been very, very difficult today throughout the area. And as we expected, we've gotten some moderately heavy rainfall into the region. You'll see a band of rain extending all the way from the northern neck, all the way through the Middle Peninsula and into the south side and across northeast North Carolina. Here's a live look at what's going on with those areas of rain. Again, you can see some of the heaviest rain has been across the Middle Peninsula and the northern neck, not so much the eastern shore right now. You can see it into Gloucester County and into Middlesex and Matthews County. Some very heavy rain and likely an inch per hour out of some of these areas. A little bit of a jump to Virginia Beach, and we're seeing it over Bay Island, Atlanta, basically over the north end of Virginia Beach and the south end too. You can see it from Dam Neck southward to Nimmo and Sandbridge and Pungo, Dawley Corners, Hill Landing. Some very, very heavy rain here, and as we move into North Carolina, we are seeing some very, very heavy rain throughout much of the region. It's going to be continuing off and on tonight. It'll taper off for a while. How about the weekend? Find out about that in a few minutes.
A lot of questions tonight as to what caused officials to put IC Norcom High School in Portsmouth on lockdown. From Chopper 10, you can see police units surrounding the school while faculty, staff, parents and students waited anxiously to find out what was going on. We have team coverage tonight from Norcom High School. 10 on your side, Shannon Powell spoke with students and parents, but first, we're going to get the very latest details on why all this happened from our Ava Hurdle. Ava?
It was about a report of a gun in the school, and you can imagine the rapid police response concerned both relatives and students. Francis Johnson stood with other concerned family and friends across the street from IC Norcom High School, waiting for word about an afternoon lockdown, concerned.
And I got a grandson and a granddaughter in this school. And both of them are students. Lord, Jesus have mercy.
2 o'clock dismissal was delayed. Students say lockdown lasted 45 minutes. Johnson's grandson is Dominique Lawson.
Somebody was on the school ground trespassing and they had a gun in school. That's why we was on lockdown.
Did you ever see anything?
No, only thing I heard was the dog.
Police dogs searched the school as police, fire, and rescue units waited outside. Seeing her grandson was a relief to Johnson.
Boy brought the gun to the school, yeah, and gave it to some other boy now, and that's what happened. And I just thank God. I just thank God that nobody get killed or nobody get hurt, but the kids insist enough to lock themselves in closets and stuff.
Not the school day anyone envisioned. And police tell us tonight that the school was thoroughly searched, but no weapons were apparently found. Back to you, David.
All right, thanks, Ava. Continuing our team coverage right now, while SWAT teams moved in around Norcom High School, teachers, students, and parents waited and worried. 10 on your side, Shannon Powell talked with them about what they saw today. Shannon?
Well, David, there were dozens and dozens of people standing on these very sidewalks earlier today. They were very concerned about what was going on inside of IC Norcom High School today. And the fact that they could get very little information about the situation, well, you can only imagine it made them more concerned about the students' safety. Anxious, worried, and scared. These people have children or loved ones who attend IC Norcom High School.
I was like, know what was going on.
And the rumors did not calm anyone's nerves.
They said somebody got shot.
They got a fighting and shooting. They said somebody brought a gun in.
These parents thought their children were safe in school. This lockdown has them wondering.
They're not safe. This is so messed up.
Waiting and not knowing what is going on only made the waiting worse.
I thought the schools had a a system in place to alert the parents or something like that whenever something like this will happen.
Then the students started coming out, a relief.
I feel a lot better, whole lot better.
We ain't here now, we just seen like the police and stuff walking past our classrooms and stuff like that, dogs and stuff like that, so we didn't know what was going on.
But once everyone started coming out, all that was temporarily forgotten, and students were showered with hugs. No one was hurt, no one was arrested. That was all good news to the parents here today. But many that I spoke with say that they hope that if this should happen again, that they will get better communications between them and the police in the school district. Back to you, David.
All right, still happy for a good ending. Thanks, Shannon. Now a developing story in Norfolk. That's where police are trying to figure out why their officers fired on a teenager. It happened just before noon today on Alexander Street near 5 Points. And that's where we find 10 on your side's Andy Fox. He's been following this. He has the latest on what happened and what's next. Andy?
Yeah, David, this easily could have been a fatality. Thankfully, it wasn't. But it does go back to that shoot, don't shoot concept training that the police go through. According to police, the suspects pulling out something like this, they think it's a gun, they see the gun, they have no choice, they have to take the shot.
I panic. Every time I hear gunshots, I panic.
Dora Griffin is moving. Too many gunshots out on Alexander Street. Fear. Her 2 shots today. She runs out of the house.
In between the house and the alley, there was a guy laying there that looked like he had been shot in his leg. There was a gun laying a couple feet away from him.
Norfolk police say during a drug bust, another man, unrelated to the bust, comes through the alley. Police believe the suspect has a gun and verbally command him to stop. Police investigators are told the suspect, who is 17, reaches for the gun under his shirt, then makes a threatening turn with the gun towards police.
Officers fire, at least a officer, maybe more fire at the suspect. Suspect's hit, transported to the hospital with what's been described as non-life-threatening injuries.
Police won't release the officer's name or the suspect's name. Dora Griffin, already moving. She's done in this neighborhood. Too many guns.
I can't even let the kids play outside. Nothing. So I'm getting out. I'm one of the ones that are getting out.
Griffin fears the night when she's at home, in bed, afraid she may never wake up.
I feared for a long time, you know, whether or not a bullet was going to come in through my house and, you know, kill me or my children while we're sleeping.
Now, police emphasize that the officer, David, involved in this shooting was part of uniformed patrol, and as is customary, standard operating procedure, he will be placed on administrative duty pending the outcome of this investigation. But the suspect in this case, according to police, did have a gun. Back to you.
All right, Andy Fox live tonight in Norfolk. Thanks, Andy. The man hit by a car while trying to cross a busy intersection in Virginia Beach passed away this morning. Police say 79-year-old Jack Gaston was hit by a car that was turning left onto London Bridge Boulevard from General Booth. Right now, the driver does not face charges. Virginia Beach police are searching for suspects in a violent carjacking. It happened early Wednesday morning on Old Town Court. We're told the suspect approached the victim, asked him for a cigarette and some money. That's when a second suspect ran up, pulled the victim from the car, and stabbed him repeatedly. The man ran to a nearby house for help. Police are now looking for the suspects and the victim's vehicle. It's a gold Ford Focus with Virginia tags J&J 9878. Call the crime line if you can help police with this case. And in Virginia Beach, the man accused of threatening to bomb Virginia Wesleyan College back in September was in court today. 48-year-old Darren Muncie, a former security guard at the college, was in court for a preliminary hearing. Police say Muncie made threats that he would mail letter bombs to the college. He was fired from his security guard job shortly after his arrest. Muncie remains out on bond tonight. Still ahead, a team effort to help a young boy battle a rare disease. We're going to introduce you to Jimmy Lewin. He's taken to the streets to beat a rare illness. First, though, unsung heroes of Hampton Roads are honored for their tireless dedication in making our community better. The winners of the 2007 Jefferson Awards in just a minute.
You're watching WAVY News 10 live from the station on your side.
Captain Bouchard served as commanding officer of Naval Station Norfolk after 9/11.
I understand responsibility, and I know about leadership. I want to serve again to make sure our veterans get the benefits and services they need, to provide in-home care for senior citizens so they can live independently, not in nursing homes. Politicians in Richmond may try to shortchange seniors and veterans, but not on my watch.
Bouchard for delegate.
Do you believe in ghosts?
4 years ago, I started encountering an entity.
You may when Tell on Your Side teams up with local paranormal experts.
So basically, you've seen them here.
The scientific search for the supernatural in a local home. Tuesday at 11. Saturday, November 3rd, from 11 to 2, join Tell on Your Side Shannon Powell and Cheryl Tam in one of these farm fresh locations. Bring at least 2 non-perishable food items for area food banks. And with the help of Shred It, we'll shred your old documents. WAVY.com presents Fan Cam. If you shoot it, we want it. Send your best videos to WAVY.com.
Hey, Jack. I thought you were getting a Toyota Corolla.
Well, I was. Then I found out this Mazda 3's got more interior room, more standard horsepower, and been getting some great reviews. I don't see why anyone would get a Corolla.
Right now, get 1.9% APR financing on the 08 Mazda 3 4-door and 5-door. Discover a better way, the Zoom Zoom way.
Closed captioning is brought to you by Bruce's. Insurance companies don't repair your car, we do.
Hi, I'm Stephanie Harris. We want you to join us this week to test your brain power. Don't miss Battle of Brains on WAVY TV 10, brought to you by these sponsors.
This segment of WAVY News 10 is brought to you by Kim Knock Ford.
You take one look, your heart races, you break out in a sweat, you've got Mustang fever. And all this week, Kim Knock Ford slashes prices on every Mustang in their huge overstocked inventory. New Mustang coupes, convertibles, GTs. It's our biggest Mustang sales event ever. So don't hold back. Strap on some Mustang muscle and save thousands.
Got the fever? I got mine, Kim Knock Ford.
It's Mustang fever, all this week at Kim Knock Ford.
Dozens of arrests and safer streets, the goals of the Virginia Beach Police Department's Operation Locktoberfest. These 2 men are among some of the first arrests made on the first day of the operation. Police say Stephen Travell hasn't paid $177,000 in child support, and Glenn Tucker was wanted for robbery, abduction, and weapons charges. So far, 33 people have been arrested on a variety of charges. There were 17 felony and 28 misdemeanor warrants served. We are taking time to honor the unsung heroes who make our community a better place to live. Our very own Andy Fox emceed the Regional Jefferson Awards today. It recognizes the efforts of 11 outstanding people who have generously volunteered their time and talent. They don't seek the limelight, only to help others.
They give random acts of kindness. They make a difference in their community, and they make it a better place to live. And they seek joy in what they give and not what they get.
Here are this year's winners. Each has performed an extraordinary public service to his or her community. These outstanding volunteers could go on to win a national award. You can find out what each person is being honored for on our website, WAVY.com. A young boy gets a little help from his friends. In just a moment, you're going to meet Jimmy Lewin and buddies running to find a cure for a rare disease.
Obviously, still raining throughout much of the area. Will it continue over the weekend? We'll update Super Doppler 10 Live for you to have your weekend forecast.
Find your next home from the comfort of your living room. Log on to You're at Home on WAVY.com.
Ralph Northam is against capping property tax increases? Why?
Northam wants to lower penalties for drunk drivers. Why?
Northam supports amnesty for illegals? Why? Vote for Ralph Northam? Why?
With Senator Nick Rarish, you'll never ask why. He supports cracking down on illegal immigration, passed tough drunk driving laws, and Nick sponsored the property tax cap.
I'm Nick Rarish, candidate for state senate. My campaign sponsored this ad.
Fresh for fall at Thomasville and on sale now. New colors, fabrics, textures, fabulous jewel pieces, beautiful rooms for the way you live, relax, and entertain. The Great Fall Sale with store-wide savings from 45 to 65%. And no down payment, no payments, and no interest until October 2008. All your favorite designs and exciting new collections. The Great Fall Sale only at Thomasville.
Move on.
pop quiz. Who proved that blood circulates through the human body? If you were a student at a Virginia public school, you'd know the answer is B, William Harvey. This has been a Virginia Lottery educational moment. The Virginia Lottery.
I'm Bobby Matheson, candidate for delegate, and I sponsored this ad.
As a police officer, Bobby Matheson put his life on the line to keep us safe from crime. Now this good cop is being smeared so John Welch can run from his own record. Welch took a Bahamas vacation paid for by lobbyists. Then John Welch declared bankruptcy, welching on $600,000 in personal debt, leaving his creditors holding the bag. Must be nice. John Welch, dishonest, out for himself.
This segment of WAVY News 10 is brought to you by your local independent train dealers.
There are trillions of allergens circulating throughout the average American home. But now, Trane introduces the first central air system that removes up to 99.98% of the allergens from all the air that it heats or cools. Trane Clean Effects. Isn't it time you expected more from your system?
Receive up to a $1,200 rebate and special financing with qualifying Trane systems. Call Peninsula Heating and AC at 757-877-4241.
It's hard to stop a train.
You're watching the station on your side. This is WAVY News 10 at 6.
Welcome back. Tonight we bring you the race for a young boy's life. Organizers hope to raise enough money to find a cure for a rare disease. 10 on your side's Derrick Rose joins us live from our Peninsula newsroom at the Daily Press. Derrick?
Well, David, the disease is called ataxia-telangiectasia, and it's often described as being 4 diseases in one: cerebral palsy, muscular dystrophy, cystic fibrosis, and cancer. And it's had one boy that we've met bound to a wheelchair most of his life, but not even that is keeping this kid from lacing up. Somebody's got the Running in the rain, not your ideal condition for a marathon, but each of their steps is for someone whose smile shines through the wet weather.
I'm so grateful, it's hard to express it in words.
Meet Jimmy Lewin, one of 500 children nationwide fighting ataxia-telangiectasia, or AT. He's the reason for the race.
All these people and their support are really what gives us hope that we're going to eventually find a cure.
No one's support bigger than Tim Borland.
It's a fancy chair you got there, buddy.
He's doing 63 marathons in 63 days. This is day 54.
We're on a mission, and it's specific purpose and mission, and that's to really to bring hope and to bring awareness and funding for the Children's Project, and that's our message across the board. That's it, and that keeps me going every day.
Not to be outdone by Jimmy, at 5'2" and 100 pounds, he's still quite the athlete. His wheelchair is designed to lift him to a standing position while it rolls, so he too can compete with the best.
And it really warms our hearts that he can be a part of something like this and contribute.
And with competitors like these, it's hard to tell who's the hero.
I'd call these guys like Jimmy the heroes. These guys are on the front lines every day, battling. I'm just out here fighting with them.
And in the marathon Jimmy Lewin is running, it's not who crosses the line first, but finishing life's race that will make him a winner. And Tim Borland hopes to raise $2 million with his marathon. So far, they're up to $500,000. So if you would like to donate to the cause or learn more about AT, just log on to our website, wavy.com, and once you're there, just click on featured links. David?
Considering the weather, an even bigger testament of the fact that they got out there. All right, thanks, Derrick. Coming up tonight on Fox 43 News at 10, an elementary school that's double trouble. Speaking of which, Nicole Livas is in the Fox 43 studio with more on that.
You're just wrong, David. Officials at a northern Idaho elementary school say every year brings something different, but never something like this. 16 sets of twins. It's got to be tough on the teachers. The story tonight after the Next Great American Band on Fox 43 News at 10.
Always live, always on your side. Super Doppler 10.
And we've had a string of rain late this afternoon and into the evening hours. You can see it extending all the way along the coastline or from the bayfront areas of the northern neck all the way to the south side and into eastern North Carolina. That's where we have seen the heaviest rain during the daylight hours, and really very heavy rain over the middle peninsula, up to about 3 inches of rain a little bit earlier on today. Here's a live look at what's going on. We're going to track some of this, show you what's going on into the region. It's all moving generally northward. You can see the bulk of this heavy rain now is over the northern neck. We move on in for a closer view. Reedville, not as heavy a rain right now. Kilmarnock seeing some fairly heavy rain. We widen the picture back out and show you what's going on. We're going to slide it down just a bit. Right along the southern tip of the eastern shore, about over Cherryton, Fisherman's Island, seeing some pockets of heavy rain. But over the oceanfront areas of Virginia Beach, we're starting to see this move on slowly out to sea, but we have seen pockets of heavy rain over the past hour or so. But again, it's sliding slowly out to sea and still seeing a little bit of heavy rain over Pungo Ferry, Hill Landing. And as we move a little bit farther southward into North Carolina, we are seeing heavy rain here as well to the east of the Elizabeth City area, basically into southern Currituck County. We are seeing some heavy rain toward Alder Branch, Bertha, Grandy, seeing heavy rain going on there. And again, farther southward into North Carolina, some pockets of heavy rain into inland Derrick County. So we're likely, again, going to continue to see this over the next several hours, and then it'll start to fall apart. I think we'll see a little bit of a break later on tonight. Rain should taper off a bit later, and you can see that. It becomes lighter to the west. Minor tidal flooding is possible tonight between 8 o'clock and midnight, mainly along the eastern shore, the northern Chesapeake Bay, a little bit more on the high end of minor, let's say, tidal flooding going on from the northern Chesapeake Bay. Not quite as much rain coming up for Saturday in terms of the time frame. It doesn't look like it'll be a total washout. We are still going to see some rainfall for Saturday. Back to the rainfall again. You can see things lined up right through here. A bit of a break. We are going to see some more rain later tonight and during the day for tomorrow. Here's where things are. 2 o'clock in the morning, 10 to 20 mile-an-hour winds. It's going to remain mild overnight with these southerly breezes. It'll only drop into the low 70s for most of us. Here's where things are by 7 o'clock in the morning. Mild, but here comes the rain and the actual cool front sliding slowly through the region during the day on Saturday. Showers and thunderstorms, and they could be fairly slow moving. Here's where we are by 5 o'clock in the afternoon. We're starting to clear on off just a bit for Sunday. We'll still see some cloud cover and some sunshine, and definitely cooler coming up for Sunday. Here's where we are Sunday at the noon hour, 10-15 mile-an-hour winds, northerly wind at 10 by 7 o'clock in the evening on Sunday. Now, between now and tomorrow evening, here's how much rain we expect. Around 1/2 inch to 3/4, 3/4 to 1 1/4 inches through most of the Hampton Roads area, 1.5 inches, 1 3/4, and then 2+ into some of these areas. So again, we are looking at some additional rainfall through the area for tonight and tomorrow. Rainy off and on, low 70s right now. We're not going to change much from this during the overnight hours. The low 70s for the most part. Here's what we expect coming up for tomorrow, around 78. Not a washout. We are going to see some rain. Clearing skies somewhat coming up on Sunday, 68. And then look at Monday, 59 degrees for a high temperature, warming back up a little bit by Wednesday, but basically temperatures into the 60s for next week. We are looking again at one more day of rain. Check it out on Channel 227.
The Hokies are humbled in Blacksburg. A report from Tech's heartbreaking loss to Boston College. And we're getting ready for another night of Friday night flights. A look ahead to all the big games coming up.
I don't believe it.
Yeah.
It wasn't anything like I expected.
Yeah.
There were no pushy salesmen?
Yeah.
At Hall, we never had any. Instead, we have smart, friendly people whose one goal is to make sure you get the vehicle that's right for you. All with the Hall no-strings guarantee. That's the way we do business. Relax. You'll get used to it.
You got a great deal on this car.
Yeah.
Hall Automotive. More cars, great people.
I'm John Miller, and I approve this message.
A pledge from Senate candidate Tricia Stahl. I favor ending government involvement in education.
End it? Tricia Stahl wants to end public education?
How are we supposed to pay for schools?
How are we supposed to pay for schools? Stahl's own words. I favor ending government involvement in education, ending public schools as we know them.
Tricia Stahl just does not support public education.
Or my kids' schools.
Or my kids.
Does a local family share their home with a spirit? Hear what 10 on Your Side gets on tape Tuesday at 11.
Eventually you'll find what you've been looking for. Your goal will be met. And that wall is facing you. You're gonna break through. Talking about I made it this far. I make it to the top. I gotta get mine. I never gonna stop. I made it this far. I make it to the top. I gotta get mine. I never gonna stop. Never gonna stop.
I'm Chris Stolley, candidate for delegate, and I sponsored this ad.
Joe Bouchard is out of control. The Virginian pilot calls Bouchard's negative campaign wrong, dishonest, and an embarrassment. So out of touch, Joe Bouchard thinks selling our ports to a country with ties to terrorism doesn't matter. Bouchard said putting them in charge of our ports isn't a threat to security. Joe Bouchard. Dangerous plans, jeopardizing our security. We can't trust Joe Bouchard.
I'm John Welch, candidate for delegate, and I sponsored this ad.
Bobby Matheson. Under his direction, violent criminals were given get-out-of-jail cards, putting us all at risk. There's more. Bobby Matheson's team also opposes tough new laws to get dangerous illegal immigrants off our streets, and even wants to give taxpayer benefits to illegal aliens. Bobby Matheson, on the wrong side of the fence. He's putting us all at risk.
Well, it's going to be wet tonight, but football goes on.
Yeah, does the chopper have windshield wipers? I don't know. They can just get that off of there?
Oh.
This goes fast enough. Probably doesn't need them, right?
If they go at all.
Chopper 101, right? We have a couple huge games tonight and a few postponements to pass along. First, let's begin with a big game at Darling Stadium. A battle of longtime rivals in Hampton and Bethel. The Hampton Crabbers, they're the traditional powerhouse on the peninsula. They have a record of 7-1 overall and have not lost to Bethel in 15 years. Hampton does not give up a lot of points. Mike Smith's defense has posted 6 shutouts in 8 games. But Bethel, very strong this year under new head coach Jeff Nelson. Like Hampton, they're also 7-1 this year. A win tonight for either team should clinch second place in the district and a playoff spot. Game time set for 7 at Darling Stadium. The other big game taking place in the Beach District, a battle of unbeaten teams, Salem and Green Run. Both teams come into the game with identical 8-0 records. Salem is the defending Division VI region champion and led by running back Kevin Whaley. But what a story at Green Run. Head coach Sean Wilson and his staff have turned this program around. The team that won just 2 games over 7 years, now they're playing Salem for the Beach District Championship. That'll be a tough ticket to get tonight. Of course, it's wet tonight, and that means some postponements to pass along. 5 games all moved to Monday night. Deep Creek, Oscar Smith, Grassfield against Western Branch, Woodside at Gloucester, Smithfield at Southampton, and West Point against Matthews. Plus, this just in, First Colonial against Ocean Lakes. That game also postponed. Once again, all these games moved to Monday night. That's football weather, though. Meanwhile, Virginia Tech fans still in shock over what took place last night in Blacksburg, facing number 2 Boston College in the driving rain on national TV. An incredible scene. Lane Stadium was rocking and very wet, too. The Hokies dominated the first 58 minutes of the game and had a 10-point lead, but hold on. With 2 minutes left, BC quarterback Matt Ryan throws a nice pass to the corner of the end zone. Just like that, it's a 3-point game, and then after BC recovered an onside kick, Ryan did it again, scrambling all around, finding Andre Callender in the back of the end zone. 14 points in 2 minutes. What looked like a huge upset for the Hokies turned into a huge disappointment.
It's a tough one to swallow right now. Yeah. Felt like everything was going our way for 55 minutes, and then all of a sudden,
that's why they call it a 60-minute ball game, because if you don't play 60 minutes, you over here with the sad face like everybody else.
We hurt right now, but we just got to bounce back, man. We just can't we can't let the season get away from us just because this loss right here. We still got the ACC championship ahead of us. We got to bounce back and meet Boston College if they win out back again in Jacksonville.
Rain there and rain tonight for Friday Night Flights with Chris Reckling and Cheryl Nelson.
All right, we'll see you then. That wraps it up at 6 o'clock. WAVY.com for the very latest. See you at 11.
After searching the world's greatest automobiles, I think you'll find the one that deserves to reside in your driveway will be one from Charles Barker Automotive. Possibly the best automotive value on earth. A Toyota, Lexus, Scion, or Infiniti from one of our dealerships gives you the security and the peace of mind that you've